I know you've seen it, the young couple looking for their first home on HGTV or some other reality television show. She works as a barista at the local coffee shop. He's still a student but works part-time at the hardware store. And all of a sudden they have this $800,000 budget to go buy a home. Now, that might be reality TV, but that's not reality, let's face it. So what does the actual home buying process look like? Well, that's why we've created this series we're calling Buying Basics. And today, we're talking about making an offer. So you're pre-approved and you found the home you want to buy. Where do we go from here? Well, today I want to take you through 5 simple steps of making an offer. The first thing you're going to want to do is come up with an offer price. You need to stay within your budget, but you don't just need to throw out a random number. This is where your realtor can help find that sweet spot with a data-driven analysis to come up with the best deal without insulting the seller. There are 3 things to consider. The first thing is the condition of the home. How does this home compare to comparable sales in the area? Are there any necessary repairs or renovations? Number 2 is the market. Real estate agents are particularly useful in assessing the current market and housing costs. Ask your agent for a comparative market analysis. And finally, your budget. You may be pre-approved for a very large number, but make sure you don't outspend what you're going to be able to pay back. Make sure you can live comfortably with the monthly mortgage payment. You don't want to be house poor. The second step is navigating contingencies. A contingency is basically an escape clause in a sales contract that allows buyers to walk away from a sale with their earnest money. Some common contingencies include home inspection, home appraisal, financing, and title. If you're buying a home and can pay cash for it, you won't need to include that financing contingency or the appraisal contingency, which is required by lenders to make sure that the property is worth at least the mortgage amount. Step number 3 is earnest money. A contract to buy a home in Alabama requires a good faith cash deposit, something we call earnest money. The amount of earnest money is negotiable. It varies from market to market. In North Alabama, you will see earnest money ranging anywhere from $500 all the way up to 3% of the purchase price. The more you put down, the better your offer looks to the seller. Now, this money will be held in an escrow account and later applied to your mortgage down payment. So you have a price in mind, you have a plan for contingencies. Up next is to convey that to the seller. That's number 4, writing an offer. Your agent will draw this up for you. Your agent will also give you an estimated closing statement, so you'll have a good idea how much money you will need to bring to the closing table. If you don't have an agent, you will need to include the following. I'm going to be real quick with this. The address of the home, the name of anyone on the title, the amount of money you offer on the home, the contingencies the home needs to meet before the sale goes through, any concessions you're asking from the seller, such as closing cost coverage or repairs, items you want included in the sale, such as window treatments, appliances, lighting fixtures, the amount of your earnest money deposit, your mortgage pre-approval letter so the seller knows you can fund the purchase, the date you expect to close on the loan, the date you want to move into the house, and the deadline to respond to your offer. So you see, there are a number of things to navigate when writing up an offer. This is where your real estate agent can really help out in the process. The 5th and final step is negotiations. You submitted your offer, but you aren't quite done just yet. The seller must respond. Basically, they have 3 ways they can respond to your offer. Number 1 is to accept the offer. In this case, the seller just signs the offer and you're under contract to purchase the home. You can now proceed to produce the earnest money, you can get the contract to your lender, and you can schedule those home inspections and appraisals. The second way they can respond is by making a counteroffer. The seller has the option to send that offer back to you. It isn't always a counter on price, although most of the time it is, but it can also be a counter on things like closing date, repairs, or other terms of the contract. And the third way they can respond is just to flat out reject the offer. Sometimes the seller has a better offer, or they just didn't get what they want from your offer. Maybe it's the price, the loan type, or other factors that may have played a role. If you are ready to begin the home buying process, let's set up an appointment where we can go over your needs and discuss how I can help you find the perfect home for you and your family. You can give me a call or text at 256-701-0038, or you can always find us online at intheshoals.com.